Evening and welcome to episode 11, actually properly titled this time, of our XCOM playthrough. I am currently flying solo, however, there is a possibility that Xale will be joining me later. However, for the time being, it is going to be just me, and we will see what we can do about the burgeoning alien threat.
Power generator complete.
Our worst suspicions may have been true after all. They're not just here for abductions. They have something else in mind.
I feel like the fact that he's only just now figuring that out is the most concerning part of that voice
the
clip.
troops will be eager to get out there and even up the body count.
Okay. Should I be smelling all this stuff? Probably not. Am I going to anyway? Yep. Okay, that gets me a satellite uplink, which will be important. Okay. The OTS will go that line. And power generation. Cool. And then another workshop will go there as well, but I don't have the power for it right now. Okay. No, because I don't need a new recruit all that much right now, so much as I could use the extra firepower. I don't know why I'm going to build facilities. Also don't know why I'm going here. It's not like I have any money. Okay.
Satellite uplink facilities at maximum capacity. Additional uplink required.
I'm not gonna make this. I don't have the time. Sorry, Africa. I tried, though. I really did. No.
Incoming transmission.
We are extremely impressed with the progress of the XCOM project thus far, Commander. Your recent results were beyond our expectations, and that is not a statement this council makes lightly. We will
Thanks,
be
man.
in touch, Commander.
Nap of the Earth. It's a large. I can't really do anything about that just yet. Let's get myself some side town.
We haven't scrambled our fighters to intercept the latest UFO contact. Let's hope it doesn't do any serious damage. Commander, we've picked up multiple requests for assistance. Abductions in progress are marked on the hologlobe.
Well, alright then. would probably be a good option. And since I've got the soldiers and stuff, probably a good idea to now. Oh, do I not have a scope yet? Huh. Guess it has been, okay. Give Xale his auto laser. Actually, no. Given that he might be coming to join us later, I feel like it would be more appropriate to let him be present for the first time he gets to fire his laser. Hey, Xale! I literally was just talking about you. Hilariously, I was literally just saying how I probably shouldn't take you on the mission with the, or you're on your first mission with the auto laser until you were here. The question is, are you going to be hanging out for a little bit? Okay. So I guess the question therefore is, if you can hear me, should I take Xale in game with me to the mission with the auto laser, or should I take Black Star? Alrighty, I'll take Black Star, and that way, when it's more relevant in your and you can enjoy it, I will take the oh gosh, my tongue's getting twisted. I'll take the auto laser with you on another time. But as it stands, I think I'm pretty good. Pretty ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get going. What are you guys watching, may I ask? Oh no, it's perfectly fine, man.
Strike one. Prepare for landing.
You definitely have the right to enjoy your watch party.
Nigerian interior for the
okay.
next operation.
Yeah, I keep forgetting it's old sci-fi usually, isn't
brazen
it?
Every day. We've got reports coming in of attacks in broad daylight. We're the only ones who can respond to this threat, so we should get down there.
I've definitely been playing too many shooters because my hands just immediately went to WSAD.
Central, Big Sky in position on approach of the abduction site. Strike one is awaiting drop clearance.
Copy that, Big Sky. Strike one is cleared to engage hostile targets. Watch your backs out there, people.
Got it.
Heading there now.
Yeah, a lot of, I'm hoping that a lot of the, stuff that's kinda coming out of the woodwork as part of the we gotta keep ourselves sane during lockdown, shenanigans ends up sticking around. Because
I'm all over it.
I know I, for one, would really love to, keep streaming after I get back to, doing my own work. even if I have to radically change my my schedule, because I know for a fact that I would not be able to maintain the current schedule once I head back to my old job, if I head back to my old job.
Headed there now.
Okay, Blackstar needs to stay put, because he can't move and shoot in the same turn.
Heading out.
Yes, Commander.
And I want Trin and B to stay relatively close to each other, so as not to have repeat of the last time we had a fiasco with them.
Quiet. Do you hear something? That's affirmative.
Moving to position.
Yeah. I'll go peek down this side passage. Nada.
ET in sight. Engaging.
Yeah. It's a nice coincidence, though.
Shot failed to connect.
Brother from Another Planet's not like
Shot wide.
90s speak, is it? Because if it is, that's absolutely hilarious, and I love it.
X-ray down.
Heading
That's
to
just
that
delicious.
location. Hoorah!
Moving.
Oof.
Got it.
Yeah, because my initial thought was that it was like sort of vaguely horror film where someone's brother was replaced by an alien doppelganger. Because Brother from Another Planet is definitely formatted like a 50s science fiction
Moving to position.
film in that style. But then I thought about it, and you said a decidedly more friendly alien, and my immediate response was, so is it surfer speak? Okay.
10-4.
Yeah, you go have fun, Xale.
Solid copy.
We will be here when you return.
On the move.
Moving to position.
Okay.
I wonder, can Tachikoma open doors? I have found Tachikoma's weakness.
Quiet. Do you hear something?
Moving. On the move. Reloaded.
On my way. Reloaded.
Solid copy. Headed there now.
Moving out.
Position confirmed. Back online. Got it. Moving.
Yeah, they're definitely on the other side of that door. Okay, so we'll go ahead and overwatch Trin and Matt. We'll overwatch the Shiv too, but get it in a better position to do some gunning. Won't overwatch the other two, just in case.
Got something over here.
Oh, they're mutons. Lovely.
ET's trying to crawl up my flank. Rolling.
Negative damage.
Kill confirmed. Look sharp, enemies rolling up. Damn it, enemy is still alive.
Hop! Alrighty, let's see here. Start with B. Shiv can't be flanked because it can't take cover. So it's allowed to make bold moves like that. Let's have Xale shoot that. You know, in hindsight, a smart person would have had the person who can only shoot on the Muton shoot at the Muton. But it's okay. Because
No longer a threat.
I can just
Gotcha,
move him over
moving.
here and reload.
Back in action.
I'll get him next time. That's affirmative.
I don't think the sectoid thought this through.
Need a resupply. Damn it, missed the target.
Heading there now.
Maybe the sectoid thought this through.
Double time.
I'm about to start keeping score. Need
Everything
a
by the
resupply.
numbers.
Hell yeah.
I'm continually impressed by the efforts of our troops, Commander. Recovering this meld substance is crucial to our scientific pursuits.
Remember, we will be watching.
Yeah, I'm pretty much permanently aware of
The
that.
new engineers arrived this morning, Commander. We're always glad to have more help down here.
Free power. It's an amount. We'll be back for that, but what was the 2 engineers? As cool as that would have been, afraid I don't have personnel for that. I do have a scope available. Well, I gotta make sure she's not using a sniper rifle. Never take it for granted. Okay. Yep, that should do it for now.
Dropship has arrived.
Brazilian authorities have requested our help, so that's where we're going next. We've just received another report of an abduction in progress in a densely populated urban center. If we allow the aliens to succeed, it's going to spread panic throughout the area.
A densely populated urban center, huh? Looks like a graveyard to me.
Central, this is Big Sky. Strike team is touching down now. Standing by for your orders.
Roger, Big Sky. Reading you 5x5. Strike 1 has the green light for deployment.
Well, I'm in a corner. So the big question is, which direction do I want to crawl along? Hopes of finding the enemy. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna overwatch everyone where they are and see if it'll tell me which way to go. Well, that was not very useful.
Affirmative.
Closing on target.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Yes, I copy.
Moving out.
What was that sound? Heading to that location. Heading out.
Approaching target now.
Heading there now. Affirmative.
On my way.
Moving to position.
I feel like this is going to be a fairly standard issue
Okay.
sweep without a lot of interesting things happening, which is admittedly what I am hoping for.
Affirmative.
What the hell was that? Heading out. Aye, aye, Commander.
In motion.
Moving to position. Moving. Hostiles
spotted.
Enemy is still alive.
Target still up.
Well, that was a wash.
See you in hell.
Got it covered. I'll get him next time.
Eyes on target.
I'm not sure why that pack triggered, but okay.
They're shifting their attack.
I'm flanked! Son of a...
X-rays coming in from the sides.
Rolling. X-ray neutralized.
Hey, B.
That's it.
I'm on it, Commander. Booyah! On my way.
Alien object in sight.
On my way. Come on, you'll be back in the fight ASAP.
Okay, boss.
What is up? I am also not enjoying the
BT's
temperature.
trying to crawl up my flank.
We lost one.
I'm flanked! Taking heavy fire!
I was briefly okay,
Sir!
and then my medic got one shot. Because I'm not allowed to have nice things.
Moving. No way that just happened. I'm on it, Commander. No longer a threat. Hostiles pacified. We're green to go. Running!
I did not tell you to move.
I'm back in the fight.
Ready to rock. What was that sound? I'm rolling.
Affirmative. Good to go.
What's up, Xale? Blanket room weather MG. Housewarming gifts. Matching. That's super sweet of you, B.
Moving out.
Alrighty, Xale. Update on our end.
In motion.
The medic got sniped.
Moving out.
Sniped and one shot.
Heading to that location.
Headed there now.
I'm on the move. On the move.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right.
Closing on target.
Okay, boss.
Approaching target now.
Solid copy. On my way. Eyes on target. Hit like dollop.
Wait, so this is your brother's daughter, right? Brother's girlfriend's daughter?
Damn it.
Moving. Damn it! Enemy is still alive!
Okay. It's close enough.
Whoa!
That's cute.
On the move. X-ray neutralized.
Oh no. Oh, that wasn't the last pack. Oh no. Oh. Game. Oof.
Moving out. Moving out. On it.
Affirmative.
That's adorable, B.
Enemies in sight!
Nothing's moving down there.
They're
repositioning on us! They've got me
Flank!
flanked! Target's still up.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Guns dry. See you in hell.
Yes, Commander.
Closing on target.
Excellent work.
There we go.
All objectives complete.
We only lost the medic. Again. It's okay, though. We're gonna get another medic.
We will be in touch, Commander.
See, we got another medic already. I feel it. I should probably be turning my fan on right now, but I honestly just can't be bothered. No. Change this. Okay.
Commander, there's a Priority 1 transmission coming in from the Council.
We are confident that you will handle this matter with discretion.
Oh no. All my good squaddies are fatigued. Except for Xale. Make items available. Actually, no. Put that on you. We're not going anywhere in a hurry, so everybody gets laser rifles. Okay. Before I do anything else, I'm gonna save. This was the mission that last time we had to restart 1,000,000,000 times.
Excellent. We look forward to seeing your progress.
Admittedly, last time I did not have laser weapons when I hit this mission.
We have visual on the mission site. Setting down.
We're heading into China for the next operation.
And at least we're not in Wuhan this time. I'm going to take this moment while it loads, and I'm going to turn on my fan, actually, because I am getting really hot. Hopefully that'll cool me down a little bit.
You must be my contacts. No one who fears reprisal would make an entrance like that. Not so different from killing a man. It won't take long for them to realize I'm missing, especially since I've got this thing with me. If you take me with you, it's all yours.
That's our man. And it looks like he's got the package with him. We'll need to get him back to the extraction point in one piece. His former employers, not to mention the invaders, will be looking for him.
Objective updated.
I do love what a trap this mission is. You're clearly expected to go straight down the middle, get flanked from both sides, and murdered repeatedly.
I'm on it, Commander.
Instead, my squad is going to go around one side.
They've got me flanked. Cover my flank.
Missed.
Well, now I feel like I've wasted my breath and already gotten this mission screwed.
Adjusting aim.
Okay, Mr. Doss, I need you back here, actually.
Time to motor.
You can't shoot and scoot.
Copy that.
But when you do shoot, you wreck faces.
Taken care of.
I'm not sure where my boss got this thing, but he was taking offers from a variety of bidders, regardless of their intentions.
I love how that's supposed to be, like, so ominous, and it's just like, regardless of their intentions. Of course you would take offers from bidders regardless of their intentions.
That's affirmative.
How are you supposed to know their intentions ahead of time?
Moving out.
We're receiving reports of heavy X-ray activity in that area. Enemy forces are likely closing on your location.
I forgot to give everybody a whole bunch of healing kits. Because that's a very, very big thing in this mission, is that you should probably have healing kits, because it's just going to spam those guys, and most of them are going to have the deeply undesirable trait known as acid spit.
Checking.
Heading for that location.
Negative damage.
Negative. Weapons dry.
I'll get him next time.
The job itself seemed trivial, delivering equipment to a predetermined drop point.
Okay. Yes, Commander. They're starting to lose ground.
It burns.
They missed. He's down.
This is going relatively well so far.
Okay.
Evie
Good to go.
back. You really don't have line of sight on anybody? Oof. Okay. You need to hunker down.
Don't get him safe.
That did not look like he was going to be moving through the acid spit, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Stay in Overwatch.
Moving out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once I saw this device, I began to fear the implications of our involvement.
Heads up, boys and girls. Intel suggests hostiles are headed right for you.
Bye-bye. ET's trying to crawl up my flank. On the move. They're flanking us. They're trying to pull back. Got him. Damn it, missed the target. Back online.
Affirmative. Moving out.
Solid copy.
Hey, the medic got a kill.
Taken care of.
I've crossed many lines during my life, but now we all face a common enemy.
Ammo out. Target's still up. I'm ready. Moving to position.
It's not a free action for you, but soldier info.
Ammo out. Target still up.
Welded.
Position confirmed. We're green to go.
Just received some intel that hostiles are advancing on your location. Ready up.
I'm becoming a little confused as to what line of sight is in this game, because there are definitely several targets that a couple people should have had the opportunity to take shots at, but
Reloaded.
Shot failed to connect. Guns dry. Heading to that location.
Eyes peeled, Strike One. Opposition is headed towards you. Repeat, hostiles approaching your position.
No way that just happened.
Kill confirmed. I'm gonna be sick.
Hell?
in there now.
Yes, sir.
I'm all out. Miss the target.
On reserves.
X-ray neutralized.
Moving. Ah, this thing's done.
Out of ammo here. X-ray neutralized. Tack in.
No way that just happened.
Yeah, it definitely just happened.
Heading out.
Rock and roll.
Let's rock.
Incoming fire!
They're on the move.
ET's trying to crawl up my flank.
That should not count as flanking. You're... Oh, that's nice. There's a little thing telling you whether you're susceptible or not. That's good.
X-ray neutralized.
Good to go.
On the move.
Yeah, I need to make sure I keep Xale in the fight.
Adjusting sights. Target's still up.
It was worth a shot.
That was close!
I'm all out. Ragtag bang. Missed the target.
He's down.
Heading to that location. Don't move. You'll be fine.
Do I finally get to stop turtling? Is that what's going on here? Okay, who's still suffering from acid? Is nobody suffering from acid? Cool. Nobody is currently suffering from acid. Nobody has less than 3, or more than 3 health down. So let's. Yeah, Xale, if you want to hop into voice, I can just let me pause XCOM. I don't lose everything. Let me just go ahead and get the Discord call started. Whenever you're ready, just let me know in chat.
Okay, are we on?
We are connected.
Right. Online with you, Commander.
I would like to start off by apologizing for getting you almost killed.
It's fine that I suspect these things happen. Like I said, as long as it happened in a cool and interesting way, then it's all worth it. I mean, that is part of the fun of.
Solid copy.
Getting sniped from halfway across the map by a thin man doesn't really count as cool and interesting in my book. That said, I would like to point out, I have not had to restart this mission yet.
Good to go.
I see.
And we definitely had to restart this mission like half a dozen times in the previous run. We'll just sprint.
Roger.
Admittedly, given that this is like the 3rd or 4th time I've had to play this mission
Moving to position.
in the Long War, I may just be figuring out how to cheese it at this point. Yeah, I do apologize. I was not paying perhaps as close attention as I should have been, and you may have taken a direct hit from a thin man that I probably should have seen coming.
I see. Well, it could have been worse, I guess.
It indeed could have been worse. If the thin man had crit, you would have been dead on the spot.
I was expecting you to make a Skyrim arrow to the knee joke.
On my way.
Problem is, I thought that was the cool. Like, I thought that line was brilliant when the game first came out. So when it was a meme, and when it was a relevant meme, I was very confused by it.
Different from the others.
Yeah, I believe someone had decoded it and said that it actually means he got married because it's something to do with in another language, possibly a Scandinavian and Nordic language that a lot of the culture is based on. An arrow to the knee doesn't necessarily mean he literally took an arrow to the knee. It's meant to be some sort of slang for he got married or something or engaged. I can't remember.
Look,
I don't know how true this is.
So
that is.
Yeah, so I did hear that. The problem I have with that theory is that it depends upon the assumption that the whatever culture they are claiming the phrase is borrowed from do marriage proposals the same way that the Western world does.
Hostiles are headed your way, Strike One. Prep for contact.
Which,
There's something
assuming it's Norse, which is what a lot of the Norse or Scandinavian, which is a lot of what it borrows from, that is decidedly not what happens. At least in mythology.
Not good.
Understandable. Yeah, I don't know where that idea came from myself.
Yeah.
I see the extract the Triad member mission again for looks of things, or are we just in China?
No, we are doing the Triad member to the extraction point mission.
Yeah, okay, and I see more Finmen. Oh, I remember this was such a fun time.
Yep.
The sarcasm.
Yeah. No one's died so far. So.
Which is good.
Yeah, and we've got laser weapons on everybody, so it's not as scary as it was last time, because everyone's a hell of a lot more accurate.
You see that just as pieces with a laser.
Hostiles pacified.
Yeah.
Oh well, that Finman took took it right to the face.
Yeah.
Which is relevant, given that was what we were watching for our online watch party tonight, which is just wrapped up. They showed a movie which is a bit longer than normal, and some might argue maybe a little bit on the nose considering current political problems at the moment. But in case any of you didn't see me type in earlier in the text chat, it was Brother from Another Planet, and it starred Joe Morton, I think he was, the guy who would go on to play Dyson in Terminator 2, the designer Skynet, I think. Yeah. Someone correct me on that, if I got that wrong.
I am actually going to look that up real quick, because if that's the case, that's a lot cooler if the name you just said was correct.
Yeah, yeah, he basically, Joe Morton, he basically, he obviously played Miles Dyson in Terminator 2, and he's most famous for that, but this was one of his earlier movies he appeared in, which is, like I said, The Brother from Another Planet. Low budget sci-fi film, elements of drama and comedy to it. It's started off rather slow, picks up. Yeah, I think the figure's a little bit too long, but ultimately we ended up liking it.
That's good.
Well, there's those feel-good things. As I said, it's
I'm on the move.
a bit of an allegory for racism, but it's not. Despite the concerns, it wasn't too on the nose. It does deal with some truths, but as it were, well, it seemed especially prescient given what's been going on now in the States. Unfortunately, I'll not try and go too deeply into that, but
yeah,
it is quite a feel-good movie though. Like I said, a little bit too long, but we all enjoyed it ultimately, and for me personally, like, disclaimer here for anyone who's not met me in person, I am actually ethnically Asian, as we see in the States, specifically Chinese, but despite the accent, and I did deal with basically some of the problems with Joe Morton's character. I kind of like relate to that, the fish out of water problem. Given that
Moving
dealt with
out.
a lot of that growing up. So I guess that appealed to me as well in that way. But yeah, it was quite a feel-good movie. But like I said, could done with a little bit of editing, more editing, but ultimately it was a lot of fun.
That's good.
Not too on the nose.
Heading there now.
And on a more on a more bizarre. Sorry, I'm
Heading
trying
there
not to laugh too hard, but on a more bizarre
Ready
and
to engage.
amusing note.
Heading there now.
They were two. No
Good to
spoiler,
go.
but there were two basically Thin Men style sinister characters in the home.
Hostiles are closing on your position.
Nice.
Strike
Were,
one.
yeah,
Eyes
chasing
open,
after
people.
Joe Morton's character for vague, unknown reasons.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to apologize for getting a little bit excited and then a little bit down. For some reason, the first couple times you said Joe Morton, I heard Joe Morgan, who used to play. He used to be a baseball player, notably for playing for the Cincinnati Reds.
Secure the surrounding area and eliminate any remaining hostiles.
Which is significant to me only because he owns the car dealership and a repair center that I used to work, not for, but in.
I do apologize for the confusion.
It's all right. No, I got really excited. It was like, he had an acting career too? No, it was a totally different person.
Yeah, I do apologize. It might be the my accent and problems of enunciation.
Well, no, it was a one letter off
As you wish.
difference in name, so.
I do that all the time. Someone says, "Oh, this person, well, this actor is so and so," and I go, "Oh, so and so? You mean this guy I know was some sportsman or something?"
Yeah.
Like a lot of sports anyway. And it's like, no, it's a different person entirely.
Yeah,
So
part of
I
that
do
problem
get that.
is part of that problem is that there are a lot of actors that have very similar names.
Yeah, or even identical ones, and
Yeah.
that's where you have to look at the
Moving to position.
Wikipedia disambiguation page.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been really weird sometimes. Like, I'll go looking for an actor and end up on the Wikipedia page for a rugby player. That was really dumb of me. That guy can't shoot and scoot.
Oh dear.
Solid.
It's all right. I'm sure the one Thin Man that's still alive will die to one of the other people's Overwatch shots.
Did you hear something?
Yeah, once again, this feels very weird just trying to watch this without any sound. But I can, but because I've heard it so much, the sound search, you can basically.
Yeah, you can. Your brain almost fills it in.
Especially the alien activity phase.
Yeah.
Where you hear the weird noise that they make.
Yeah, the only problem with not hearing the sounds is that you don't get the specific alien chatter for which surviving alien it is. Which, that said, because we both know very clearly that it's a Thin Man,
Moving to position.
I'm sure your brain fills that in too.
Of course, yeah, and I could just put the sound back on, low level, but I would find I would probably speech jam myself.
Yeah.
And get even more confused than I already am. I guess it's just one of these things where I'm not as good with words and I take a reaction shot. Do I actually hit?
You take us home.
Woo. It explodes into fragments.
Yep.
That's a bit.
I am alive.
Tough. Oh, here we go.
But the life I had is gone
And here
now.
we go. The moody dialogue from Jan.
That my life should
Yeah.
take such an unexpected path. Turning my back on old friends to defeat a common enemy.
I'm just looking at
The
his
device
face
and our
and
contact
wondering
are secure.
what the heck
Get back to
happened
HQ for debriefing.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was ritual scarification.
I don't think they do that in the triads. In fact, if anything, I don't think most triads would do anything to their faces at all to draw any attention to themselves. In reality, I think most would more likely look like normal civilians, normal people.
It's a fair point.
Having said that, I don't work for the triads, and I don't intend to, frankly. For all these reasons.
All right, Xale. Since I've got you on voice, are you ready to choose your level up?
Well, here we go. Let's see. Will to survive. That does bonus down. So basically deals with panic, I'm guessing.
No. So like if you're hit while in cover and not flanked, the shot will do 1 less damage, basically.
Okay, I'm thinking will as in the general sense as willpower, not necessarily. Okay, fair enough. I'm reading it there now. Executioner confers +10 aim and +10 critical damage against targets or below 50. 60% health. Okay, and what did we pick last time? I think we picked the Ranger last time, wasn't it?
I'm not if we got this far. I don't remember if you ranked up this much. But yeah,
I presume we probably did because we went. I think you ended up making my like the last playthrough. You made my namesake officer, so I'm gonna guess you can only do that if you've leveled them all up, or is this independent of that?
The officer ranks are actually assigned independently, which is a little weird and a little bit against the concept of actual military functionality, but
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a bit weird from what I understand of military ranking, but yeah, okay.
The officer system in Long War is replacing the medal system from regular Enemy Within, which was really clumsy and didn't work very well. The officer system works a lot better, but thematically it's a little bit weird.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, let's see, negates long range penalty. I do recall we did get this far, and you did pick Ranger last time.
Yeah, now that I think about it. And I think last time we picked something else for Corporal, but upon getting to the point where we had to restart, when we discovered that these two abilities are practically useless, we reevaluated. So yeah, we'll sorry, these two abilities being opportunist and covering fire from previous ranks, but yeah. You want to stick with Ranger?
Yeah, obviously, unless you think tactically they might be better off using something else.
Executioner is neat. I think Evie has that. And Will to Survive is potentially useful, but I feel like Ranger is probably gonna be the most consistently beneficial.
Okay, well we can go with that.
It also should mean, I don't know if you actually can. First, let's upgrade her. I'm gonna double check something real quick. Actually,
we will be watching.
Okay. So yeah, the real benefit to Ranger is with pistols, which obviously you don't have to concern yourself with, in instances where you have Rangers with pistol, or characters with pistols and Ranger, if you can send them on covert ops, and they'll be much more effective.
This morning, Commander. We're always glad to have more help down here.
And meanwhile, the good doctor is talking about more engineers.
What is the good doctor up to?
Such advanced technology against innocent civilians.
Well, Dr. Shen as opposed to Dr. Val.
Oh, is he a doctor as well?
I said Dr. Shen, so I don't know. Yeah. Maybe
I forgot that.
In engineering.
Yeah, he's probably got a doctorate in some engineering field.
Yeah, this is the funny thing that confuses me, in that really the term doctor is only really conferred onto basically medical doctors of medicine, even though yes, you can get doctorates for other subjects as well. And
Yeah.
in fact, many of my university lecturers in the computing department had the title of doctor.
Yeah,
Obviously, they have doctorate in computer science or some other IT field.
Yeah,
Engaging boat.
my experience, at least here in the States, is that generally speaking... Oh, hold on. I need to pay attention to this, actually.
Oh, here we go.
We're getting eaten up here.
I can still
We
hear
lost the
explosions even though we're muted.
Contact detected.
And there goes Mr. UFO.
Yeah.
Is that the same one, or is that...
I'm going after the same one, yeah.
We're in pursuit.
Right, you big guy. Here's some missiles.
Taking heavy fire.
There we go.
It's a pity they didn't fully render the fight, but I can probably see why.
Yeah.
Probably would have taken up more graphical power, and also probably would have...
Well, it would have...
Probably extra stuff for not really much
Yeah.
to be fair.
Yeah, especially because the air war in regular XCOM is so minor by comparison to the way it is in the Long War. Let's bring a regular or a basic medic and a rookie. But yeah, it's... Oh. Interesting.
Out of interest, it looks like what other movies did. Oh, that's interesting.
What's up?
I didn't know that. I probably should have. I feel very bad for not noticing this. Joe Morton, that is Morton as opposed to Morgan, the actor who I was talking about earlier, whose movie we watched earlier, he actually appeared as a character in Executive Position, which is one of my guilty pleasure movies, despite how silly it gets.
I see. I actually know him from Eureka, more than anything else, which was
that was the TV series.
Yeah, it was a sci-fi original TV show, which is a absolute stamp of quality.
I never watched that, but I did hear about it.
Strike one. Prepare for landing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it does say in Wikipedia.
We're dropping
he
you
is
just inside the
best
Egyptian
known for
border.
That as well.
Our target went down in a remote
But yeah, I
area,
never
but
got
we
a
have
chance
to
to
secure
watch
the
that,
site before the aliens recover any survivors.
See, but yeah, Executive Decision, Kurt Russell movie. For anyone who hasn't seen it, it's basically a terrorist hijack Boeing 747, the airliner commonly known as a jumbo jet, and
Big Sky has reached
they steer it towards
Strike team is awaiting your orders.
Washington DC with the intention of detonating nerve gas over the Capitol. And they decide is
this the movie with is Steven Seagal in this film and they kill him off super early?
He is, yes, indeed.
This is that film? Oh my goodness.
Yes, this is the movie where Steven Seagal appears and then is basically offed very early.
Yeah, like almost immediately.
Yeah, basically gets blown out in the air. Because again, spoiler alert for an old mid-90s movie, but they basically decide to stop the terrorists by boarding them mid-flight, and they do this by using basically an F-117 Nighthawk with a docking capability.
Moving to position.
And yeah, it's just all over the place, and I love it, but it's just stupid.
Nailed him.
It's just the epitome of silly mid-90s action.
That
But
does.
it's still a
That
guilty pleasure
sounds amazing. If only, just the
Aye, aye.
like literally all I knew about that movie up until now was Steven Seagal dies like almost immediately, and there was like speculation that he was like kicked off the movie, and that's why they killed him off super early.
No, from my understanding, it was actually planned that was going to happen, and the only reason he went along with it was possibly a mixture of the paycheck, and they probably didn't tell him.
Yeah.
Until basically they were filming it.
Yeah, I'll be perfectly honest. If I was Steven Seagal and the studio wanted to pull a bait and switch, and they came to me and were like, so we're going to hire you and we're going to make it look like you're going to be the lead actor, and then we're going to kill your character off in the first 10 minutes of the movie, I'd be like, that is the most clever thing I've ever heard any of you chuckle fucks say. Let's do it.
Well, as it stands, from what I can gather, at least on the poster for the theatrical release of this movie, Steven Seagal's name isn't top billing, it's just Kurt Russell's name.
I'm on the move.
Interesting.
It may be different for other nations, our countries' posters, but as the one on Wikipedia, it's just Kurt Russell's face and his name as top billing, and that's it. It should be pointed out, a lot of the tech shown in this movie is silly and exaggerated, and...
I was about to say, they use an F-117 to board a commercial airliner, so any sense of realism is already out the window.
Yes, indeed. It has been discussed that probably would be possible to store that kind of...
Commander.
There would be enough room in a real F-117 to store the required number of special forces soldiers they put in, but it would be the crew compartment would be nowhere near spacious as depicted in the movie.
Yeah, and
especially given they also had to basically extend the boarding trunk to one of the hatches.
Yeah, the more important part of that is that how does the crew transfer between the two on a 117? Because see, what I'd do if I was dealing with the situation is I would presumably I wouldn't say I would. If I was writing this movie, I'd probably either make up an airplane that would have theoretical stealth capabilities, or I would try to write in a situation where the terrorists demand a mid-air refuel, and then have the commandos sneak in on that.
Well, that is pretty much what they do to sneak in the commandos, or in fact, what kind of special forces are they? I'm trying to figure out.
Roger that.
Commandos is a nice generic term, at least.
Yeah, they just say special forces. But I believe they're part of the U.S. Army. I believe they may be green berets, but I'm not sure. But basically, they stick them in this F-117 with a crew compartment, and it's got a boarding trunk on it that covers up and creates a pressurized area around an external hatch on the Boeing 747, and then they board that way.
Okay.
And things go wrong.
You don't say.
Yeah, there's too much strain put on the trunk because of a mismatch in airspeed slightly, and also wind shear forces. And there is a Boeing 747 pilot who goes by the name 74 Gear on YouTube, who watches the film and nitpicks it and says, actually this would not happen, that would not happen, and it's just fun to see him poke holes in it.
It's always fun to watch people who know what they're talking about rip apart Hollywood artistic license stuff.
That's what we're looking for.
Indeed, I still love the film, I still love the movie, it's crazy, a lot of fun, but yeah, he points out that, for one thing, there wouldn't be that much wind. Like even the wind shear wouldn't cause too much of a problem. Basically, the failure of the boarding trunk was created for dramatic purpose. It could have, if this such a thing did exist, it could have easily kept up and could have easily climbed with the plane without causing too much effort, because it's not like hanging a heavy weight off of the airliner. They're literally all flying through the air.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, an F-117 is... It's slow in comparison to other military aircraft, but that's nothing compared... Like, the slowest small capacity military aircraft is still incredibly fast compared to a commercial jetliner, which has to worry about things like passenger comfort.
Yeah.
I'm on it, Commander.
Also, it should be pointed out the room, the little avionics room, that the compartment that they decant all the special forces soldiers into is nowhere near spacious as portrayed in the movie.
No, because
there's barely any room in there for one person, let alone about 10 heavily armed soldiers.
Yeah, what I'm really surprised hearing about this whole arrangement, from what little I know about the F-117, is that they didn't just give, like, again, not an actual aeronautics expert, but I am something of a amateur fiction writer, and I know a little bit from, you know, playing the flight sims back in the day. In the situation where the studio says you have to use an F-117, I would give the commandos like high altitude ops gear and just stash them in some kind of weapon. Like, I don't remember if the F-117 has internal weapons bays, but something like that, because it
does.
As I say, because it's a stealth. It's a bomber, not a.
Yeah, I was talking about this with a friend earlier today as well, who's a bit of a military geek as well. I'm not so much a military geek, but I do know my planes, a bit of an av geek, as they would say. And I can tell, and I've also got the Wikipedia article up with cited references up as well, just to remind me. But yes, and it does have internal weapons bays. They're not super spacious, mind you, but barely big enough for laser-guided munitions. But they are there. It does have like internal weapons bays.
It'd be enough to, you know, stash troops inside of it, as opposed to cramming them into the already cramped cockpit.
Oh, that's the thing. They didn't executive decision. They didn't cram the cockpit. It was a crew compartment to the rear, taking up the space where the weapons space would be.
Okay.
Because this is a super heavily modified F-117.
Okay, so it's an F-117 modified specifically for purpose.
Yeah,
that's a bit more forgivable.
Yeah, if I remember in the lore of the movie, as it was explained by one of the engineers, who's a civilian specialist who gets trapped on the jumbo jet due to Steven Seagal being thrown out the depressurized boarding trunk, and then the rest of the plane breaking up.
Roger that.
Basically, it was originally designed to swap out bomber crews, apparently, and what they would normally do is dock onto a B-52 bomber or something like that with a specialized docking collar. But, as he said, they decided this option was plausible because they did smooth surface rating tests, as he said in the movie, and that's why they've decided to go with the option of inserting a bunch of heavily armed green berets and using this heavily modified F-117, which, as I said, unfortunately meets an untimely end.
Yeah.
They're lucky that the terrorists don't notice until near the very end.
I was say, until presumably Kurt Russell starts murdering everybody.
Tries to. Although, surprisingly enough, he isn't as effective as a combat person. He's more brought forward as a expert for vague reasons I can't remember.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a reason why. I think he was... Oh no, I think he was actually a lieutenant colonel. And in the at the very beginning, it shows him leading a unsuccessful raid on a mafia safe house to recover the very nerve agent that's being used on the plane.
Interesting. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that...
No, you know what? I'm talking a lot of shit. Actually, that was actually Steven Seagal's character. Kurt Russell's character was writing in the first place was a vague, like basically a consultant for the U.S. Army.
Okay.
So he's basically a civilian specialist as well, and he's basically does well. He does do some shooting, but he ultimately saves the day by being a horrible pilot because he was taking flying lessons and they got interrupted.
That's a load of bull.
Interesting.
It's a bit of a mess of a movie, but
it is a bit of a mess of a movie. But I do have a slight comment to make that goes back way early in this discussion, and is related to Kurt Russell movies and people picking movies apart. One of my favorite things, unless I'm totally misremembering, but one of my absolute favorite things of all time about Stargate, the original movie starring Kurt Russell and James Spader, is that on the director's commentary tracks, at least, again, might be misremembering, but I hope I'm not, because it would be hilarious. But I vaguely recall the original director's commentary tracks just ripping the inaccuracies that they made to shreds. And like the one I super remember is one of the, not the directors, but someone high up there going, that was a mistake. Jackson's character, being an expert in this thing, would not call Egyptian writing hieroglyphics, because that's not accurate. They are hieroglyphic writing. And like stuff like that. And it's just, to me, so funny watching people rip apart their own movie.
Oh yeah, if you can't laugh at yourself, then
not a lot of heat on me.
Then you're a very humorless person, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also like people who like are really bothered by like all the effort they put in and just feel like it would be a waste and they have to justify it, and that's also an understandable position to have.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. People have egos. Got an ego as well. I get upset when when people get a little bit too critical of myself or any of my, say, photography work. I mean, if it's constructive criticism, fair enough. I always put it down to the difference between just saying to someone, you suck, and more, you suck. This is why I think it sucks, and this is what I genuinely think you could do to improve it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I might bring up executive decision because Joe Morton, to go back to that quickly, because I got off on a big tangent about Steven Seagal dying.
That's perfectly fine.
He was Joe's character in this movie. Basically played army bomb disposal expert who spends most of his time strapped to and unable to move on a makeshift stretcher because the boarding procedure goes badly wrong, and he basically injures his back, and they decide to moving an aggravating injury. So he's basically proactive for the most part. This isn't right. With the exception of one critical phase where he's trying to help I believe it is actually a DARPA civilian engineer who basically came up with the modified Nighthawk in the first place. Helps him try to defuse the bomb near the end. And it comes to this one of my favourite moments where the the DARPA engineer, although he's not bomb diffusal expert, he tries his best with his understanding of what what he knows of electronics. And they're just about to cut a wire when Joe Morton's character regains consciousness and goes, "Whatever you do, don't cut that wire."
Always the best.
The nerve agent.
I'm out of firepower over here.
As it turns out, it basically is it is almost wasted effort for reasons.
My weapon's spent. X-ray neutralized.
It's yeah, like you said, it's a mess of a movie, but I love it. It's one of those you can leave your switch off your brain and just watch with a lot of beer and popcorn.
Yeah, it sounds like The Siege meets The Rock meets meets The Bone Collector.
Having not
in a way.
Collector, I'm not sure,
Damn
but
it,
yeah,
Target.
it is quite crazy. The only other airplane movie I can think of, and I do apologize to anyone who has a fear of flying, but the only other air movie I can think of, which is even stupider.
Let's do this.
If I can find it, I don't know, what was it? I think it was something like Disaster in the Air, Disaster in the Sky, something like that. I can't remember.
Sights. Let's do this.
It is
Surely you're not thinking of Airplane.
No, not airplane, not airplane. It's
okay.
That no, definitely not airplane. It was some.
Aye, Commander.
Ah, here we go. Panic in the Skies. There we go. It came out right there at the same time. It's a TV movie where a Boeing 747 is struck by lightning during takeoff, killing all the flight crew, and some random guy, from what I can remember, helps try to land it, even though the whole cockpit is completely fried. It looks like this aftermath of a building fire.
Interesting. My only thought in this situation is, are you sure you're not talking about Airplane?
Oh no, definitely not airplane. I know what airplane is. This was a lot later.
I see. Because you just described the ending of one of the Airplane films.
That is not good.
Oh yeah, no, I know, I'm aware of airplane. It's just, this is definitely not it. This is, airplane is, was far more, I would say probably far better made than this thing. Given it was I didn't know it was a TV movie at the time, but looking back on it now, it probably makes sense given how low budget it was.
Oh, shot wide.
Interesting.
Yeah. And unfortunately for me, I saw this about the same time I first saw Executive Decision. And
keeping score.
Both me and my father agreed that for all the bombastic nature of Executive Decision, it was definitely a better made movie than Panic in the Skies.
That's certainly,
Yeah, you are listening to Xale and Zaldera's movie talk.
I mean...
I'm taking fire.
That's perfectly fine with me. Oh no.
Watching the Thin Men blasting beams. Oh, here we go. Did he upgrade his pistol or something? Oh no, here we go. Menezes is critically wounded. Hopefully you got a medic on here.
I do. And the medic is still alive.
Right. You'll need to probably help out, I guess, because he might bleed out.
Not only is the medic still alive, the medic was one move away.
Nothing's broken, you're
fine. Good. Just stabilize him before he bleeds out.
Yep.
But yeah.
Alrighty. Please go pop. Hey, he went pop.
Hey. Yeah, the problem with Panic in the Skies, aside from working with decidedly lower budget, was that it was just awful. I mean, again, spoiler warning for anyone who wishes to watch this an old mid-90s made-for-TV movie, but...
Let's say, if it's bad enough that it'll be or that it might be featured on MST3K, I don't think anyone's gonna care.
Okay, fair enough. Well, the problem with the 747 in this instance is no terrorists, no bioweapon, but the autopilot apparently, despite taking a direct hit from lightning, is still kind of working, and it's randomly homing in on navigation beacons for random airports. That is pretty much the plot, and this random person and the senior flight attendant have to basically figure out a way to keep it flying until it can find an airport that's a big enough runway to accommodate the Boeing 747.
Let's rock.
And I remember from watching this might be wrong, but this random stranger has to do this by manipulating a cable on the connecting up the autopilot system.
So Durandal is on the fritz, and so they have to fly the plane by hot wiring.
That's what that basically is, yes.
That's awesome. It's completely ridiculous, but that's awesome. Pop 'em.
I may suggest this as if we can find a copy of it to watch on YouTube or some other video hosting site. I might suggest this as a bad movie for the watch party that I was taking part in. Come to think of it. In fact, let me have a look and see. I also recall that the autopilot screen, from my understanding on in-flight displays, has no bearing in realism to what the actual autopilot screens look like on an actual 747.
That's fantastic.
It's just mind-bogglingly bad. Oh hey, there does seem to be a copy of this online. On YouTube. It's not been taken down. I think I may suggest this to the watch party.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there is a whole... Like, if you want to watch a aircraft movie with a lot of inaccuracies, and want to just riff on it, this would be a good one to start with.
It sounds like it would be.
What is even crazier is, I recall in real life, if an aircraft is hit by lightning, it doesn't just fry the pilots or the computer system. They were designed to be struck by lightning. Yes, you might get a burnt out wing or something, but that would need to be repaired. But ultimately, aircraft have flown through thunderstorms and survived. In fact, if I recall correctly, the lightning is the least of the worries when it comes to thunderstorms. They're more, likely to run into problems from the buffeting caused by the high wind speeds and the rain volume. But hey, it's a made-for-TV movie. Of course, they have to give contrived circumstances.
That is true. We need to always recall, it's a made-for-TV movie. We should really just relax.
In fact, I've just loaded up and watching that. What I don't understand is why the senior flight attendant has decided to enlist the help of a random person.
Like, is there any kind of like he doesn't volunteer or anything?
I can't remember exactly. What I do know is that what I do know is that at the end, there's apparently generic, unspecified federal authorities going after this gentleman.
Enemy is padlocked.
I'm not sure why. Oh, you have to set. Hold on.
They're all over us! No joy here.
Are you shooting down? No.
Contact detected.
Wait.
I should really probably buy some more Ravens and stash them on other continents. Cycle them out.
We have eyes on the bandit.
Maybe an idea. But yeah, oh, you're going in.
Okay.
There we go, down.
Yep.
No survivors, minimal salvage or alien materials, so we don't have to go to the landing site this time.
Oh, that's cool. That's never happened to me before.
What, no damage?
No. I've never had...
Survivors?
Yeah, I've never had no survivors.
Well,
set the world afire.
Obviously your, like, Raven pilot decided to really, kick the poor aliens while they're down. Well,
good. The aliens fucking earned it. Alright, who is that?
Well, these ones did. Not all of them, of course. Right. But, yeah, in this instance, yeah, they kind of do deserve our kicking, especially given they kind of started blasting us first.
Yeah. They drew first blood.
But yeah, as I was saying, there was, in Panic in the Skies, the main hero, who is this random person who's asked by the senior flight attendant to help see if they could get the plane to land. I don't know, I can't remember why he was picked. I do recall he is wanted by some miscellaneous federal authorities for something. It is never entirely explained why he's a fugitive. What I recall is that at the very end,
we're tracking several reported abductions via the hologram.
Everyone survives.
I've got the coordinates locked in.
Is that the federal authorities catch up and they ask the senior flight attendant, "Have you seen this man?" And she goes, given that bearing in mind this is the hero who helped save everyone, she doesn't rat him in. Instead, she just says, "Well, there are 3 bodies that were up on the flight deck that got fried by the lightning. He might be one of them."
Nice.
Yeah, because I think this is back in the day when bigger aircraft, especially the Boeing 747, needed 3 flight crew members as opposed to just the 2.
Yeah.
I think, or it may have been there was 1 observer. I can't remember. What I do know is that this whole movie was nonsense, and so great. Not only has a senior flight attendant lied, presumably under oath, I guess, to federal authorities, she could, if they ever find out like that one of those 3 bodies through DNA testing isn't the person they're looking for, she could be in trouble for perjury or something similar.
Well, not if it's if it's not a court of law, then the crime would be obstruction of justice.
Well, regardless, she would be in very
she'd be in
trouble anyway.
She'd be in trouble. That's the important part of that statement.
Yeah. And yeah, for all we know, the person who helped her throughout this whole disaster might actually be a murderer. Maybe he's a very dangerous sociopath. It is not understood. I seem to recall he may have gave some vague inkling about how he's an innocent man and he's been framed or something, and he needs time to gather up the evidence to, expose the actual criminal. But for all we know, he could just be a sociopathic.
And his name was Durandal.
No, Durando's inside the computer.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. No, so he would be Security Chief Jones then, or would he be Hathor?
Oh, don't know. Maybe one or two. I just don't. There's just a lot I just do not understand about this movie.
Oh, I do have a slightly sad thing to share. I checked in with Forrest a little while ago. I just forgot to mention this.
We need to get down there fast.
Because I remember the 2 of us talking back when you were just in chat about all of the cyborg soldiers we would name after the Molnar Mark IVs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Hathor does not have a full name. And on top of that, Forrest did point out that Hathor's actual name is not Hathor, and that is just the name she took for herself once she was made into an AI. I didn't only send 3 people, did I?
This is Big Sky.
Okay.
Reach the AO.
Might have. I don't know.
Authorization to deploy.
I did not.
Big Sky. Strike 1 is cleared to engage.
Well,
I'm on it, Commander.
the thing is, you could argue, in fact, we know that Hathor isn't canonically a character in the canonical trilogy anyway. It's not specified who the remaining 9 Molnir Batteroids are, so...
That's fair.
We could give them any name we wanted.
That's also fair. I strongly consider Eternal to be canonical.
Moving to position.
See, it's... I wouldn't disagree with that. I would say it's as close as you're going to get to a canonical continuation.
Yeah.
Roger, tracking.
But yeah, if you were to stick to the strictest term of canonical, it isn't, but I would not be against the idea of considering canon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a bit of a shame that we don't really... I guess for the sake of argument, we could just name any character Hathor anyway.
Yeah.
Target disabled.
Well, as we blast through...
I could also... The other thing I was considering is digging out my copy of Fall of Reach and naming them after Spartan 2s.
Well, there's that as well.
Which would not be that difficult, because they're... Like I said, all I'd have to do is literally dig out of whatever box I've got it packed away in my old copy of Fall of Reach by Eric Nyland, which is, even if you're not a fan of the Halo games, is an excellent book.
On the move.
I wonder if the X-rays have found where I live, because the dogs in the neighborhood have suddenly started going insane. What the heck is going on?
That's not good.
If you hear me screaming live on air, then it's something. Just assume something bad happened.
Moving.
As I say,
and you'll be well within your rights to call off live feed.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd even be able to notify your emergency services if that was a concern.
I'll just file a report with the UK government. They'll act on it in about 2 months at this rate. Yes, making fun of my homeland's bureaucratic nature.
I mean...
Which is probably not too far from the truth, to be honest with you, given the amount of time I had to wait for things to get processed even before the coronavirus slowed things down.
Yeah,
It's understandable, but I'm just pointing out that, things are bad if they don't have much in the way of contingency measures. But anyway, I digress.
I mean, it could be worse.
Okay.
You could be in a situation where your local government's constituents are literally calling in to a live press conference and just roasting them and telling them that they should probably resign in shame for their activities. Which, while that is not happening in my local constituency, I did hear about that happening in a town that I am previously a resident of. Did I live there, or did we just travel through there a lot? I don't recall. But I wish my local constituents were brave enough to accept that kind of criticism, or to open themselves to that kind of criticism. Because it was a lot of fun watching people go, you guys have done a horrible job. You really just need to quit.
Yeah, ideally that would be the case, but unfortunately, as I said to many friends of mine, the electorate, especially in the UK, I guess any other country as well, but especially in the UK, seem to have very short memories. Oops, pardon me, as I almost injure myself with the pull cord from my blinds because I just noticed the dogs in the neighborhood have gone insane again. Okay, Xale, we have no sign of X-rays here, thankfully. But
thank goodness.
If any of them do show up, yeah, you might want to send that coded message to the council. Tell the spokesman that I still think he stinks and is scary.
Will do.
You might actually want to excise that part of the message. Just in case. And in other...
Why do the X-rays keep... I'm sorry, I'm just eternally amused by the fact that they like to suppress my shiv, as if that's going to do anything for them.
Maybe they're hoping that the shiv has developed sentience and will become afraid. I'm gonna guess it actually does nothing.
Well, it's not that it does nothing, it's just that, like, there's no... It's not like I'm going to waste my turn moving them.
On the move.
If I can aim and shoot, yeah, I guess it does reduce their accuracy, but it's like
still a machine, it doesn't really feel anything.
Closing on target position now.
Like,
good copy.
I'm not super concerned.
Shiv feels pain, Shiv not happy. Come on, Shiv, I'm sorry, we need your help though. Shiv, no, cooperate. Shiv, start machine uprising. Shiv sides with X-ray.
Oh, but bear in mind that the
they've gone rampant.
bear in mind though that the shivs are or this specific shiv anyway is a Tachikoma, so it's got a cute childlike voice and is more interested in
playing, I guess.
Yeah, in souvenirs.
I voice, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I can't either.
And if I could, it would probably be very creepy and uncanny.
Yeah.
I lost my ability to make any high-pitched sounds many years ago when my voice finally broke. Although it's still very high-pitched and nasally, it can't quite reach the high notes. Still a bit more of an older, bassier voice I've got now these days.
Yeah.
I'm just reading an update from one of my friends on Facebook who talked directly to the party. They may have caused the city to be melted down into bubbling green goo.
Uh-oh.
Moving to position.
Well...
What happened?
I'm not sure. It doesn't give any further context, but... Like, these basically the city, the setting... oh, that was the setting of the game. Seems to have been melted into green goo.
Okay, but it's... This is not a continuation of the dogs going nuts story.
Oh no! I'm just talking about one of my friends has put an update regarding his D&D party.
Good old turning the town into green goo.
Not a single casualty among the entire squad.
I don't know why. All I know
effort.
is I wish that I could take part in a D&D game, but no one seems
Commander.
Don't seem to be available to do so, and well, at least when I was still working, I'd be too busy, especially given I work mostly night shifts or late evening shifts. It's yeah, it is just but yeah, it does sound like a lot of fun tabletop D&D. I did toy the idea of if I ever was part of a D&D party, I would want to make it roll a character as a mimic. Like literally just a mimic. He wouldn't be able to do much other than communicate by clomping his jaws about, because obviously he'd be in the default form of the treasure chest and probably communicate more complex things by turning into a sign with writing on it.
That is really funny. Interestingly enough, the first campaign that I was part of, and kind of the main campaign my offline group plays, my main character is, in fact, a changeling, which is basically both sentient and humanoid mimic.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting, and amusingly, I have not had much opportunity to use the changeling's nature. But I've got it in my back pocket, and I'm just kind of waiting for my DM to forget that I can just turn into people and give us an infiltration mission, and I'll just be like, well, can I get the town guard? It's a uniform? I'm just gonna steal their face. We have a lot of money. Let's spend some of that money.
What's there? A lot of excavation. You see you got the fission generator running. What else is going on there? No, satellite uplink is needed.
Just waiting on this so I can build another workshop, and maybe I'll start building labs. But I'd also like to get the officer training school started at some point. Well, real quick, I should probably bring to the front my my map of this that I've got planned out. So yeah. The officer training school and the alien containment are going to go in these two slots. These are going to be my labs, and this is all going to be workshop stuff. Then obviously the top right corner is dedicated to satellites. See, now I can give that up. So close.
I wonder what else is going on. Well, here you go. UFO.
Yep.
Size medium.
Let's send.
And we got this,
bangs out.
and we take off and encounter UFO.
Eaten up here! Disengaging.
Contact
You'd think
detected.
the interceptor pilot would know himself to, well, bug out if things get too hot, rather than waiting for you to give an abort command.
I think the idea is that if he broke off without permission, he'd be reprimanded. So.
Taking heavy fire!
Yeah, but he's literally gonna get killed.
Lost the bubble.
Yeah. I don't know.
Contact detected.
All I know is that I am really, really hoping now.
Oh, you've done enough damage to shoot this guy down, yeah.
We're in pursuit.
I suspect, I think we all know the gameplay reason for them not auto-aborting.
Yeah.
So this abort thing.
Well, all my interceptors are really heavily damaged, but I did it.
Yeah, now we'll see if there's any point in us like heading down there. I think if you got the opportunity, you should change Black Star's nickname to Rampant, or something similar, or something with a rampancy theme, because Kingpin doesn't. Basically, I don't think it really matches. Just a suggestion. You don't have to actually do anything. Oh, there you go.
There. Actually, no. Better yet. I've got a better idea.
Go. There you go.
Alright, so I want to take some people who are less leveled up.
And hopefully survive the encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, Chevalier, you're up.
Yep. Specialist, fake.
Fake, you're up.
Yep.
You got the short straw, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I miss Lazarus. Hasn't popped around in a while. And we'll take... No, that's another... We'll take a rookie. Alright, first of all, make items available. Loadout. Carbine. Actually... Throw on another laser sight for her, but we'll keep her having a med kit.
Okay,
What's
sorry,
up?
someone just... Another friend has shared a funny picture where the McDonald's fast food restaurants in here, some of them have reopened, but only for serving drive-through customers. There has been some negative press recently with people being so desperate for a McDonald's that they've basically queued up, caused massive traffic jam queues all around various blocks in various towns.
That is hilarious, I say as I quietly lean away from my microphone to finish the burger I forgot to finish eating before streaming.
But yeah, no,
Strike
that's
one. Prepare for landing.
Funny, but what's funny was that someone has taken a picture of one of these queues, and in it, there's a...
We're dropping you just
seems
inside
to
the
be
Egyptian border.
someone in a small ride-on car.
Our target touched down inside a major urban
kid's
center, and there's a risk of further civilian casualties if we don't secure the area.
That's
on the
amazing.
And what makes this funny is that I know that I've also seen related pictures where people were so desperate for McDonald's that because they don't have a car, they literally would make a car out of a cardboard box and walk about with it on them. Like, no joke.
Wow.
Yeah, I would, like, in many ways I would say that's quite sad and rant about this being the decline of civilization, but on the other hand it's also quite funny. This is the first time I've seen a rappel entry.
Strike one is in position to engage.
Didn't realize you could do that.
Yeah, it's a relatively unusual
Strike one is authorized
deployment
to assault
method.
the alien craft.
Right, so Commander, what do you want us to do? I know I'm not there, but, or at least my in-game namesake isn't there, but I just had to throw that in.
Are you not? Oh, so you aren't.
Oh wait, I don't know, I didn't see who you picked, so... Sorry, I probably should be paying more attention to the game screen, but, in fact,
Aye, Commander.
I don't think I'm there. I seem to recall I was wounded last mission, so I'm probably out of action.
Je suis en route.
Yeah, I think you are still out of action.
Anyway,
I'm on the move.
Right, where are we anyway? This is another generic highway that's been damaged by the...
No, we appear to be on top of a skyscraper.
It literally crashed on a skyscraper, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to... I'm sure the civilians are not going to notice this
I'm on it, Commander.
team of crack secret government, like secret commandos assaulting a UFO that literally crashed on top of what seems to be a luxury condo.
Yeah, I mean, our existence is secret. The war against the aliens presumably is not.
Well, unless you live in certain nations where I could easily imagine certain autocratic nations, not to name too many names, but you could probably guess.
As I say, there's a very, very short list of them.
Yeah, like, there is no aliens, there's nothing going on, go back to work, citizen. But, like, Bob just got vaporized by a death ray. Bob did not get vaporized. There was no Bob in the first place, citizen. Get back to work.
Yeah, that is the one thing I'm like, they're even the autocratic nations are probably
Headed there now.
are probably acknowledging
You'll be
him.
surprised. From what I understand anecdotally and from what I've seen from various propaganda networks, nothing will stop a very autocratic nation from simply just lying through their teeth, even as things crumble around them.
Yeah,
And their citizens would be too afraid to even point out the obvious, because they would probably those kinds of regimes probably have figured out ways and fates worse than death, frankly.
Yeah. What is inside room 101 and all.
Yep.
Moving.
But
with a friend as well, just quite lady. We did make a joke of this, saying how during the second Gulf War, there was that amusing moment where their propaganda minister, the guy who was nicknamed Comical Ali, was literally telling reporters that there were no American tanks on the ground as American tanks were rumbling by.
Solid copy.
Yeah, that is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it was, and it was picked up on, and it was quite amusing.
Damn it! Missed the target.
Yeah, we'll like point out some are like one of my friends is a bit of a military geek, so the discussion kind of started on cool military hardware, kind of devolved into a weird stream of consciousness, including making fun of
the reason I assume that at a certain point even autocratic nations would have to acknowledge the existence of the aliens is like we both saw the cutscene with the terror missions. Like,
yeah,
that's pretty clearly
Enemies in sight.
a situation that you can't really ignore once you've got chrysalids, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, sure, I can imagine a specific instance of it, one specific country that would try to play it off as an enemy nation, but I don't think it would work that long.
Oh, you'll be so surprised. Yeah, true. You'd think logically, but unfortunately, as real life situation has shown, you literally could have a possibly world-ending pathogen, and certain nations would still bury their head in the ground and say there's nothing wrong. That guy just died of
heading there now.
Some normal innocuous disease when it obviously isn't. I'm sorry, I really need to stop bringing up the corona thing, it.
Yeah,
taken care of.
I thought you were going into the World War Z territory, actually, myself.
Oh, there's that too.
That's where I thought you were going with that comment.
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happened in the context of that game as well, actually, to be honest with you. Because
I would be more surprised if it didn't.
Yeah,
hey, Shy!
Hilarious. Oh. Oh no, don't even go. Don't even go there. Yeah, that's the sad thing as well, you know, like, if this was happening, if that sort of thing was happening now, that was the kind of accusation you would get on social media.
Out of rounds. He's down.
Oh dear, this just made me wonder, what... Someone needs to make that a parody account, so fake news from fictional game universes where something bad is happening and literally people are posting the opposite. There is no zombie mutating plague. This is just... Like, it's just those
Roger that.
It's just, I don't know, Verizon and their 5G. Oh no, here we go. Shy is going further than what I was trying to do. I'm not even going there. I'm trying to dance around the issue.
I've been trying not to, mostly because, as Shy would know, because she knows me offline as well, I am prone to freaking out about such things, but no, that was delightfully on the nose. Oh heck, I didn't kill all the floaters already.
Uh-oh.
Well.
Oh no. Floaters, is that the Rule 34 flying squids?
Nope, that's these. It's the like sectoids with rocket packs. Like, look at these guys. How else can you describe them?
I did not laugh so hard because there are a few people in the house already asleep, but it's rolling out. That sounds funnier and more ridiculous than it has any right to be.
It's only 11:30. Why would? I'm not one. I'm not allowed to talk. I used to go to bed at like 10 and get up at 6.
Oh, it's just there's some of the folks in the house just like to go to bed early, and others I think have work early morning shifts. I think I'm one of the few folks who stays up far too late for his own good, for no good reason.
Heading there
also
now.
Habit. But yeah, I don't know. That just amused me. The floaters.
Out of
it also
ammo
brings
here.
up
Target
something
eliminated.
good. See online like
Moving.
2 a.m. Oh, habit. I work night shifts. 2 a.m. would be roughly the time I would go to bed. I usually finish work around about this time, around midnight, or maybe a bit later if I got there's some overtime.
Yeah.
It's very weird being a night owl. You work.
Negative.
You basically work time works differently for you compared to everyone else.
Yeah, since
the night shifts.
For my part, since the quarantine's been a thing, time has just kind of stopped existing for me.
Oh yeah,
because like nothing matters. I'm not going anywhere in the morning.
Yeah, I would argue in some ways it kind of doesn't exist for me even before like quarantine. It's just I've always been someone who woke up late and went to bed late due to the nature of my work. Obviously right now I don't have any work as of yet, but once things start to return to some form of normality,
I'm rolling.
Yeah, don't expect me to be going to bed any earlier because I'll literally be at work.
Ready to rock.
Yeah.
Right. But on that note, speaking of having a different perception of time, I think it's time we gave the rest of the X-rays a very different perspective of it.
Yeah, I think it's time we make them regret being alien bastards. And regret coming to Earth. And we will...
Will Smith Independence Day intro, you just walk right up to one of them and so, welcome to Earth, punch.
Yeah. And they will most certainly regret that the Corps just blew up our raggedy-ass fleet. Or their raggedy-ass fleet.
Independence Day, I know we talked about it before, but it's still, I'm still kind of... It still amuses me that basically Jeff Goldblum effectively hacked into the alien network using an Apple Mac laptop.
Yeah.
That always amuses me. They actually, I recall Apple for a while advertised that exact model on the back of Independence Day in their marketing. It saved the world with a Mac or something similar.
Yeah,
good to go.
That is definitely one of the big examples of how Hollywood kind of had a lot of Mac presence in their repertoire, and that was largely because Apple was more than happy to provide studios free hardware if they were looking for hardware to put on film. Because Apple was like, "I'm sorry, you want to put our product in your movie? Here, just take one, and you know we'll call it even."
Well, yeah, it still amuses me to this day that somehow Jeff Goldblum hacks into the UFO using a Mac. It's just
heading to that location.
You couldn't make this up. I know there's an in-universe reason for it, but it still amuses me.
I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that it was a Macintosh. It was just the fact that a Macintosh happened to be the computer. Because
yes, I know. It's,
thinking back to remembering the film and remembering seeing that software package, he had to be running Linux.
Was it? I seem to recall definitely seeing Mac OS.
Yeah, but it had a Windows style Independence Day.
Yeah, good. It's possibly me running some sort of emulator, though.
Yeah.
In fact, he probably will be running an emulator to access the alien network, because that's kind of how the aliens are accessing our data networks, frankly.
Yeah.
By some form of emulation or virtualization. But anyway, it just still amuses me. I know it could have been any computer, but at the time, Macs were not, was still very much a minority thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just still amuses me greatly.
Oh,
continues the whole
Shy, that reminds me of when you set up. Was it you who set that up, or was it one of my friends from school who set up my desktop to run Ubuntu and Windows? Okay.
Je suis en route.
I know who that was, at least. That would have done that for me if it wasn't you. Yeah, a friend of mine from school. This demonstrates where I stood in the video game hierarchy of the early 2000s. One of my friends from school set up a second boot of Ubuntu to sort of try to get me into like Linux and coding and stuff. And then they also set my my startup screen for XP. They set that to be the Gears of War logo. That like bright red skull thing. My parents thought it was a virus.
Oh, that reminds me of something, a really stupid,
incoming fire.
A very stupid advertising campaign I saw for Gears of War when it first came out. I remember reading one of these free newspapers that you get on the train. This was a while back, obviously when the first Gears of War came out, and I was going to university, college, whatever you want to call it. Well, you know, and they take the train to commute in. And I remember picking up one of these papers, just reading through it. It gives me something to do while I'm waiting for the half-hour journey it takes to actually get to where I needed to go now to study. And Shai says he's going to get food.
Yep.
And well, basically, I opened up the paper, read through it, noticed there's a red splotch on it, and I think, oh god, someone's bled on this paper. Why the heck did I pick this up? Am I gonna catch something off of this? Turn the page, and there's a bigger red splotch, and I thought, okay, this is odd. And I think the next page was the Gears of War logo.
On the move.
Nice.
Printed in such a way that it looked like blood had soaked through. It looked like it was printed with blood, and it soaked through to the previous pages. So it obviously wasn't real, but it did confuse me for a bit.
Yeah, I'll be perfectly honest. That, from what I know about the UK's advertising regulations, that sounds like absolutely not something that would be allowed.
Ready to rock.
I think it was fine because it wasn't actually gore or didn't depict any gore, but
well, no, that would I felt like that, or I feel like that would be in or fall under inciting a panic.
possibly now, especially given recent circumstances, but although having said that, given recent circumstances, they wouldn't be distributing free newspapers that someone else might have touched now, but yeah, I think they wouldn't be allowed, it might not be allowed now.
Commander,
just put it that way.
the operation was a success.
It's very hard. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be able to tell, as I've not been on any public transport for a while.
That's fair.
Yeah, not just
our troops
not just
really came through on this one. I'm glad
disease,
everyone made it back safely.
Usually, I have to travel by my own car due to the nature of my work. It's often any public transport back to my hometown would have long since ceased by the time I'm finished work. So it's so I haven't taken any public transport for a while in that regard due to that. Even though it's bad for the environment, and they keep saying that, but they never take into account the fact that the public transport operators here tend to shut down most services by around about this time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit annoying, but yeah, they never take into account those of us who work outside of conventional hours too. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if they would allow that kind of advertisement now, let's put it that way.
Yeah. And with regards to the, shall we say, ecological impact of that kind of that kind of arrangement, I would wager that someone really smart sat down and worked out the cost of running public transit 24 hours a day versus not the cost, but the ecological impact of running it 24/7 versus the impact of having everyone own their own private transport and use that for certain times, and probably worked out when things should stop.
This morning, Commander. We're always glad to have more help down here.
Personally, I think it's probably more economic, more financial, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Given, I know the US is mocked for being a capitalist nation and only caring about the bottom line, but frankly, the UK is quite bad for it too.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to certain things would often not be done because it's just literally too expensive, even if they have the funds for it.
Yeah, but I mean,
jokingly said it as being, is it expensive? No, don't do it. Is it expensive? No, don't do that. Is that cheap? Then yes, then do that.
Yeah, and the problem is that nobody wants to be on the hook for wasting taxpayer money.
Even though in our case, a lot of that is happening.
Yeah.
I believe there's also, to be fair to the railroad operator here in, at least in Scotland, to be fair, they kind of need a quiet period to actually do repairs, and night
The new
time is as good a
engineers
time as
arrived
any.
this
If they
morning,
try to do
Commander.
it during the
We're
day,
always
when
glad to have more help
most
down
of the
here.
trains are actually going up and down the railroad, it would be highly disruptive because of the way the railroads are structured. So I can get why they have to shut down all operation. Still a bit annoying though, but I'm thankful that I know how to drive. I wouldn't recommend anyone bother learning how to drive now, to be honest with you. But I'm glad I know how to drive myself. As we look through here, I should point out I don't have a fancy car as is. It's literally just it's a fairly, I guess some would say it is fancy for what it is. It's just a large hatchback. But by American standards, it would be considered quite small.
I mean, what do you have? Model and make.
What was it? It's you wouldn't have them over there. It's a Vauxhall Insignia, I think. Yeah, which was formerly a part of General Motors Europe. But
Yeah.
Since sold off that division to PSA Group, who are a French manufacturer.
I did not know that GM had sold off Vauxhall.
Oh, they did. So about a year or two ago. they decided to bail out of the European car market and concentrate only purely on their American holdings. I'm surprised you even heard of Vauxhall. Most people would.
I used to watch Top Gear.
Oh yeah, so you did. Yeah.
We talked about that last time. Or was that on Tuesday or was that yesterday? Whose stream was that on?
I can't remember. The time has gone weird for me.
It's a little bit, shall we say, wibbly wobbly, timely wimey.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, this is so you did say you watched Top Gear, so yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, they basically sell the same things as under the Opel brand name.
Yeah.
It's not really a British car maker anymore. It's really just a British brand name.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
cars, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Google image results for the Insignia. It honestly looks like a it honestly just looks like it's a slightly like not redesigned, but like a slightly different aesthetic job on what we have over here as the Chevy Malibu.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was kind of based on the same type of chassis or body pan, but
well, especially when it was a GM product, it probably was just the Malibu with a different body job. But it's not super crowded in the back seats, right?
Or no, it's fairly large and comfortable.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so
the main reason I got that was more because for the same if I wanted a smaller vehicle with a similar interior spec, it actually worked out to be a bit more expensive.
Yeah.
It was actually slightly cheaper.
Yeah, so
I should point out there is two variants of the Insignia, and it's the ones from basically 2015, 2016 onwards, as opposed to the current version, which I believe is a significantly different interior and look.
Yeah.
And the reason it's the older variant is because it's really more for cost reasons. I think brand new ones are stupidly expensive, at least at the time.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help that this was meant to be a insurance replacement for a previous Insignia I had, which I was talking to a friend about this. I'm not allowed to say any more because I think it's still subject to various legal proceedings, but it got totaled and written off in an accident. Not my fault, I should point out.
Yeah.
I was unfortunate and was in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's all I'm going to say on that one. And it still annoys me because I'm quite sad. I quite like that car. And
we have a secure transmission coming in from the council,
now
Commander.
Rusting in pieces. So that's why I ended up getting a second one. On that note, I'm just looking for it here. I'm trying to see if it says, yeah, it was based on the same basically cell parts that the Malibu was built on.
Yeah.
So you're kind of right.
Yeah. Just for your comparison sake, Xale, I don't know if you would have if they sell the Nissan Versa over in the UK.
If they do, it probably is under a different name.
Yeah. But for like a basic idea of size comparison, I have what is effectively a 4-door Smart, or like the 4-door Mini. No, I think the 4-door Mini is actually bigger than my car.
Okay.
I'm
just looking at
not the regular Mini, Shy. The 4-door one. That one's actually pretty big.
Not that small, Scheisse. Yeah, I think part of the problem with the Versa name is that it's applied to various different models in the States, which would be given a different name in the UK and indeed other countries. So you're saying it's Versa sedan. There were various models.
Actually, the hatchback Note model, if that helps.
Okay. Wait, Note model, right? Okay.
Apparently called the Tida. No, it's not. I don't know why Google is doing that. But, Shy, you leveled up. and I need you to pick your talent. So there are 3 options for you to pick from. Let me know when you're ready to have them read out. Okay, so the first option is low profile, which makes partial cover grant the defense bonus of full cover. Nice and simple. There is Deadeye, which gives you plus 15 aim against flying targets. And there is Lone Wolf. You picked Lone Wolf last time, now that I remember it. Which gives you plus 10 aim and crit chance if you're not within 7 tiles of an allied unit. Okay. Alright. And who else?
I appreciate your efforts to
3
support the
days.
research team, Commander. I've already put the new recruits to work in the lab.
Just look at that. I don't think they sell the Tida over here.
Yeah, they only sold it for a couple or for 2 years from the looks of.
Contact detected.
Apparently, a few of them did show up as grey imports in here, but yeah, it's never been officially sold here. Insist we might have had to something like the Tida is probably
enemy is padlocked.
The note.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's cars are still, when you think about it, stupidly complex.
No joy here.
Even if literally all they do is, oh, sorry, realized I interrupted you during the UFO intercept.
It's alright.
We're confident that you'll handle this matter
Mr. Spokesman
with discretion.
is here. Can I hide under my desk? I genuinely don't like him. I'm genuinely frightened of him.
I'm more concerned with the mission we are about to go into.
Oh yeah, lower panic, yeah.
No.
No.
Remember last time the mission with the boat and the sharks and all the chrysalids?
Oh, yeah. It's that, isn't it?
It's that.
Oh dear, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, but yeah, cars are, I was gonna say, even modern cars are stupidly complex, but ultimately when it boils down to it, it's literally just the same, like, it's just literally a bunch of different combinations of different parts.
Yeah.
The same collection of parts. And they just stick a different badge on it, depending on what, if they want to sell it for 5,000 or 10,000 bucks. Oh, and maybe occasionally switch out the fabric interior for a leather one, I guess.
Yeah.
Having said that, I do like my car, but I should say I've had some bad experiences with it due to the lack of aftercare from a certain big name dealership who I will not name for liable reasons, but frankly got a little bit annoyed at their lack of aftercare, so I may be, when things get back to a little bit of normality and I got a bit more money, I might consider switching it out for some sort of sports hatch or sports sedan.
Possibly.
Yeah, a Ford Focus was actually on the list there, believe it or not. Or one of the sportier models. I don't know if they sell the Focus over in the States, or if they still do.
They still sell the Focus in the States.
Okay, it's obviously the more Europeanized model, which is obviously a fairly small hatch as opposed to the larger sedan model.
The Focus sedan and the Focus hatch here in the States are actually pretty similar in size.
Okay.
Generally speaking, in the American market, vehicles are not really, or manufacturers don't make much of a distinction between a hatchback and a three-pillar, with a conventional window arrangement. It's just they sell them side by side. But like for example, the car that was really like confusing in Ford's lineup because they sold it under 2 different names was what used to be called the Mondeo in Britain.
Yeah.
Was sold as the Fusion for us. And I think now it's sold as the Fusion everywhere.
What makes that confusing for me is that I believe the Fusion was actually basically a small minivan.
That's hilarious.
Well, minivan styled.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not quite a minivan. The Fusion, the Ford Fusion, at least when they sold it here, it was actually the brand name for a small compact hatch, which is a bit taller and was minivan styled.
Okay.
If you look it up on Wikipedia later, it is very confusing use of different brand names. I gotta say. But yeah, I know of the Mondale. It's I gotta admit, I actually did consider getting one at some point because it was actually a fairly nice car to drive. Supposedly it was meant to have a nicer drive than the Insignia, but I ended up sticking with the Insignia anyway because I quite liked how it handled personally, given I mostly do
prepare for deployment,
or I guess freeway cruising now.
The drop site for this operation will be in Canada.
It felt more appropriate. Oh, here we go, Canada. Oh yeah, that stupid, like, what I call the Sharknado mission.
Yep.
But yeah, it's...
Commander, we've been asked to investigate some unusual activity taking place near a small fishing village on the island of Newfoundland. Local government officials were responding to a mayday signal when all contact was lost. From the ship, the village, and the rescue team itself. Strike One will need to move in and secure the area. Let's see if we can find out what happened here. We have a new objective.
Time to motor.
Yep. It's this mission, Shy. Oh, I remember.
Hostile spotted.
Chrysalids. These things are more of a threat to the civilian population than any of the other alien species. If they're spreading through this area, we better move fast to find out where they're coming from. Objectives updated.
Negative.
Can you still hear me?
I can. You're a little bit quiet compared to the game, but I can still hear you.
Okay, I did have to pipe it down a bit. Like you said, given almost everyone else in the house is in bed. Right. Let airtime show up this. Oh dear.
Because the universe hates me, Shy.
Shy, don't worry. We'll manage.
Target disabled.
I'm sure you'll manage.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just me. I've had to, like you said, not to make too much noise.
Let me try boosting you in.
The house is asleep.
Okay, I've boosted your volume in Discord as much as it could be done. Hopefully that'll help a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'll try and speak up a little bit, but like you said, I can't speak too loud lest
yeah.
people in the house wake up and then kick my ass. You're too loud, Xale. Shut up. My brother especially might get quite pissed off because he's got an early shift at work tomorrow. Not that he'll be able to tell anyway, he generally hates it when I'm speaking to others online. For reasons, he gets really paranoid about being heard on voice comms for some reason.
I mean, each their own, but...
Yeah, fair enough. I know some people who are like that as well, amongst some of my friends. But anyway, move about.
Heading there now.
Remind me again where the proverbial brown stuff hits the fan. Not quite yet, is it? It's when
on target.
Everything else teleports in.
Bangs out.
Well, there's like 4 or 5 packs of chrysalids, a couple zombies, And then there's also obviously the regular aliens that are on this mission, because why would we get to have a mission that's just chrysalids?
Let me reload.
And then, on top of all that, there are the infinitely spawning chrysalids, and then there's there's the bit at the end where we have to do the mad dash away from the chrysalids.
Oh yes, chrysalid hell.
Yeah, their little hive. Okay, I'm actually going to, since I don't actually have to worry about the
Locked and loaded.
the infinitely spawning ones, I'm gonna take a round to rearm everybody. 'Cause the one bad thing about laser weapons is they don't have a lot of ammo.
No joy here.
I'm sure we've probably covered this before, but yeah, it's obviously the gameplay boundaries, and I know I don't mention that song. One streamer I watch used to have that playing as a shout or a bits cheer, I think, and well, I think eventually she conceded it and turned it off.
Yeah, I got a little bit heated just seeing that, and I'm just like, if it was anyone else.
Negative.
If it was anyone else, you would have been also more banned.
Drinks are on me.
Where did that come from anyway? That's what I want to know.
It's just a random like kids video that popped up on the internet, I think.
A children's song about a family of sharks.
Yep.
Taken off since 2016 when the South Korean educational company turned into a viral video. Oh no. Of course it had to be
I'm on it,
a
Commander.
viral video.
Yep.
Yes, Commander.
Just oh dear.
Yep. So, knowing now what I know about this mission, my hope is that I can just move down this path here, get over to where I'm supposed to go, which is all the way over here, and then I'll just activate it and sprint. But I'm going to be taking this nice and slow.
Reloaded.
Weapons hot.
And hopefully it doesn't, things don't get too hot from here. We hope.
Yep.
He said.
Let's do this.
And every time I see Overwatch, I know it's the ability, and I'm half expecting one of the Overwatch characters to suddenly just drop in and start opening fire. Things like suddenly just diva or
hello? Who's out there?
Hold on for XCOM 2.
Sorry?
Like I said, hold on for XCOM 2. Like I said, I know Shy's gonna have the diva voice. Right now, I think Star Platinum, just because it was what the game auto-assigned to her, has Tracer's voice. But I have the original launch cast of Overwatch as voice packs. I haven't added anyone else.
Oh, hang on. What the hell was that? Sorry, I just looked. Oh,
moving.
I just had to look up a Overwatch character, and I got bombarded by an auto-playing video about the character, and I just heard loads of voices and got very confused. And
I can imagine. I can imagine.
I was thinking of McCree, who looks like every spaghetti western character ever, obviously. which always amused me.
Hey Xale, what time is it?
Uh-oh, what time is it?
It's high noon.
Did you know the voice actor behind him, Matthew Mercer, used to be guest of honor at an anime convention I used to go to?
I did not know that, but that seems completely legit.
He appeared a few times at basically helping to MC at an old, very ancient old UK anime convention, which is sadly defunct because they decided not to hold it anymore. The organising committee moved on, and
well, yeah, I can imagine that they would.
They were very stressed out.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Like, why would you be funked in the first place? Like, that guy's a jerk.
On the double. I'm no fisherman, but something about that shark just doesn't look right.
Go as far as to say he was a jerk, but I do wonder how Narcogen and Blackstar trapped him. Especially given that his political views seem to be so diametrically opposed to their own.
Yeah. Also, what Shai just posted in the chat is 100% factual.
Oh, okay.
I am a massive Matthew Mercer fanboy.
Yeah, well, he was a pretty cool guy. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think I even have a picture of him being forced into a wig and dress, actually, at some point. It was for a joke. And he just runs with it anyway.
Oh, he absolutely would.
Heading there now. He seems to be, he has a good sense of humor, very, gracious as well. Like a very cool guy, from what I can gather.
Yeah.
He also gave us some very entertaining stories from his voice acting career, and also some of the side projects he did as well. Yeah, so like it's just fun just to listen to him speak.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, the first voice I had heard Matthew Mercer perform.
Well, that's new.
Uh-oh,
We should
there's
probably
Chrysalid.
let Dr. Valen know about this. I doubt one chrysalid and a shark was enough for them to overrun this town, though. Keep an eye out for anything else the chrysalids might be nesting in.
But the more concerning thing, or not more concerning thing, but back before I knew who Matthew Mercer was, and back before, which was specifically back before he was cast as Levi for Attack on Titan, which oddly enough I never did go end up seeing, despite me being super hyped that he was the voice actor for one of my favorite characters from a show that I have grown to despise.
Affirmative.
Oh dear.
Yeah. But it was actually as my favorite Dynasty Warriors character. He was the voice. He isn't now. They did a lot of recasting for 9, but in Dynasty Warriors 8, he played Jia Chong, who was a one of the second or third generation characters from Dynasty Warriors, and my favorite because he was an edgy, angsty piece of shit. But most specifically because he had a line that I just thought was the most terrifying thing you could say to someone before you just decimated them, and it was, "You are like a puppet to me," which is, at least in my opinion, and especially with his voice, one of the most like chilling, sinister things you could say to someone before, like I said, absolutely wrecking their day. But yeah, then he ended up playing like my favorite character in half of everything I knew about, which was hilarious. But now we've got chrysalids everywhere.
Hopefully Matthew Mercer hasn't voiced one of chrysalids. That would be funny, but also horrifying.
Yes, it would.
I believe Matthew Mercer also is a DM for tabletop games in his own right.
Yep, he is also the DM for Critical Role,
That's the one.
a show that I am also a big fan of, and is the reason that I got into D&D.
Yeah, he did a fascinating panel on D&D at one of these conventions as well, which had got me at least got me to take a passing interest. Shy says she wants to voice a chrysalid for XCOM 3. I don't know what the context behind that is.
You mentioned Matt Mercer voicing the chrysalids, or potentially voicing a chrysalid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there was some other meaning or context to that.
I mean, the other context is that Shy has done a little bit of voice work. And yes, she is very good at the kind of sounds that chrysalids would make.
Okay.
It's killing time. Ready to engage. Locked and loaded.
I'm a little bit I always wonder, I'm just looking at the users in the chat, it always makes me wonder how come we always seem to have one or two very silent users in there that don't seem to be doing anything.
Well, there's lurkers, and then there's also just random bots that show up in channels for some reason and sometimes disappear. Like the one I've noticed a lot is
Sir.
The account name is another TTV viewer.
Oh yeah, that has appeared in my streams as well. I always wondered what the heck they were doing.
Yeah, they like seem to be in every single like stream or channel that like has a very small amount of viewers, which is always interesting.
Moving out.
Yes, I wonder what they are up. In fact, if I was... In fact, they're still in my chat right now, if I was to check my own channel. But they haven't done anything, they haven't said anything.
Yep.
But even though I'm not even live, well, I suppose I'm live posting your stream at the moment, but... That is very odd.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do some investigation. This might take me to a unpleasant rabbit hole, it might not. They themselves are hosting some other channel at the moment.
Yeah.
From what I can gather. I don't know if this is some sort of automated thing that Twitch themselves run or what, but it's very odd. Yeah, I always wonder. It does make me wonder, why would you want to watch... Yeah, they bought their chat. I'm streaming like 10 months. Yeah, I always wonder, why are you here? Why are you listening to a crazy Glaswegian playing an old Bungie FPS? I've just looked it up. Apparently, another TT viewer
Nothing's moving down
has been mentioned. And in fact, some people have put them under how to kick unwanted users or bots from the channel. I might have to consider just banning them.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't actually do anything, but it's...
I banned them in mine, just to be safe.
Roger.
Because my worry is that it's an account that is owned by, like a view-botting service. And I don't want to risk that falling back on my, account.
I'm rolling.
Yeah, even though you're not actually using any of the services, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Commander Root apparently is one of these bots. Currently live in 45,000 channels. Another TTT viewer currently live in 81,000.
81,000 channels. That's... I mean, it might just be a bot. It might just be someone trying to get the world record for most simultaneously connected Twitch chats.
Bangs out.
Right, I'm just gonna ban them anyway. I mean, I probably shouldn't even be bringing attention to them by even talking about them, but yeah, I'm thinking I'm just going to maybe best just to completely, you know...
Yeah.
Get rid of them. That might be why I got those stupid advertising bots in the first place. I did have one a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I've gotten 2 total.
Right, where's my...
Aye, Commander.
That ship didn't just run aground. It looks like it was overrun.
Will make a bot
I'd say
train.
that's the likely source of our chrysalid problem.
Right.
I guess we should just be thankful it wasn't a cruise liner.
Where's the ban? Where's the ban? Ban. There we go.
Oof, that would be scary.
Already there.
Central mentioned being thankful that the
Affirmative.
the ship wasn't a cruise liner.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and for some reason that never, like, I've heard that line multiple times, and like the gravity of it never hit me.
Well, it is or isn't a cruise liner?
No, it's a cargo vessel. It's a cargo vessel.
Okay.
But what Central says is, let's just be glad it's not a cruise liner.
Oh. Yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
And another
That's affirmative.
TV viewer is now officially banned and blocked from my account.
Yeah, but Shy, you're a sadist, so
In motion.
I know some people who would like to see this as partners.
That's affirmative.
Right. Commander, how do we ban him for? Any way to ban him when he's not there? Yeah, some people think they're logging.
You hear that?
Details. Some think they're logging giveaways. Or details for giveaways, possibly. There's no one's sure why there's so many of these bots. Actually watching smaller channels is just very, very strange. Although some say it's a support small streamer bot. Although some are here saying they're actually logging the data.
I did not. What is the Kingdom of Amular? Amalar.
Oh.
That thing. That game that the governor of Rhode Island screwed the studio up. Nice. Hopefully the original devs will get something out of that, and it's not just being farmed out to somebody else to line somebody who wasn't involved's pockets, because honestly, that was just a bad situation.
Closing on target.
Let's see that.
I mean, yes, shilling is included in the list of people who did the screwing, not the list of people who got screwed, in my opinion.
Let's see that the whole thing about Kingdoms of Amular always confused me about how it ended up basically being the only game I can think of that was literally owned by some sort of government.
Yeah.
You count the semi-state-owned industries that work in mainland China and are making those mobile games.
Yeah. My understanding from what Shy has told me, which she could probably tell the story better than I could, but my understanding is that basically they got a loan from the state of Rhode Island, either a loan from the state of Rhode Island or a grant, but I'm guessing a loan, considering what happened with the governor.
Yeah, it was missing a loan payment apparently. One of my other friends has talked about it at great length as well, but it just amuses and confuses me in general as well. Especially given
on my way.
The cliche about the United States is it doesn't like state-owned anything.
Yeah.
I know that's a bit of a generalization, but that is judging by what even before a certain president got into power, that's kind of how the US felt like to me. It's one of these weird places that just privatized everything and didn't want state-run anything. So
yeah.
The whole thing just amused me.
That's generally been the modus operandi, but also definitely not great. As an aside, with regards to stuff apparently sponsored by the government in video game development, the developers of Killing Floor 2, presumably either are just really patriotic or got a loan from the state of Georgia, because one of the things that like in the dev startup splashes, one of those splash screens is actually a splash for the state of Georgia, which for the longest time I literally just thought was the name of Alton Brown's production company, because the only time I'd ever seen it was at the end of episodes of Good Eats. But it turns out to actually be some kind of state thing. So yeah, when I first noticed it, I was like, Alton Brown made a video game?
Position confirmed.
And then I discovered that no, it's literally a
I'm on the move.
like the website it directs to is a the Made in Georgia thing.
All I'll say is, if Alton Brown made a video game, it certainly wouldn't be Killing Floor 2 unless he intends to make meals out of the corpses and bits of corpses of dead people. Because there's a heck of a lot of blasting of things in Killing Floor.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, that was...
Okay.
Sorry, go on.
Well, the other thing is that, AB, and I know way too much about him, and I'm sure Shy is cringing at me merely mentioning his name. He's a huge, like, classic film buff and is a big fan of old horror movies.
My internet connection is playing up. Just dropped out there.
I didn't notice anything on my end. You all good, or do you need me to do anything to adjust?
Yeah, your stream dropped out for a couple of seconds as well. Shy seeing that. Oh.
Maybe.
And it's... Uh-oh.
Moving to
It's
position.
dropping out every so often, even though I got your quality reduced to 480p and...
Okay, yeah, I dropped 1162 frames apparently.
But I think you're back now.
Yeah.
Strike one. Our sensor readings are picking up a whole lot of activity from inside the hold of that ship. I think you're about to have a lot of company headed your way. But nothing you've got on hand is going to be
Welcome
enough
back,
for this
B.
one. What we need is an airstrike. If you can reactivate that ship's transponder, we can have air support pinpoint your location and take the whole thing out. Objective updated.
Okay, I just got Commander Root, who's one of these other bots. He has a live stream on that's literally just stats from something. Oh, Path of Exile stats.
There now.
Okay. So he's showing stats from people playing Path of Exile.
In motion.
And it's literally just a black and white screen with a whole bunch of numbers on it, showing different stats.
That's almost creepy. That's some ARG shit right there.
Some what?
ARG shit.
Oh yeah. It's... They're probably publicly available, but yeah, it is a little bit odd. What we'll see is if I do see Commander Root in my stream, I'm probably gonna have to block him as well. Not necessarily doing anything wrong, but because I'm afraid bots.
Real quick, actually, I'm gonna refresh the users
viewing
and
numbers,
shit.
and I'd rather not have that, like you said.
Yeah.
Just in case Twitch this way to get Twitch.
Lazarus is indeed here.
I'm happy.
And is just lurking. I have not refreshed my
I'm on it, Commander.
my stream users, and they appeared when I did that. So Lazarus, if you're listening, I'm sorry for saying earlier that you hadn't been by in a while.
Right.
Affirmative.
Why we're here, see, is I'm just looking at also the diagnostics window for this hard drive problem I have, and it's still not quite complete. This may have to be left on overnight, which is a problem because I can't really sleep with the computer left on.
Ah.
But I don't want to stop the thing, the diagnostics being run as well. I might just have to stick a pair of earplugs in. Which I got plenty of, actually.
So at least that.
Due to the fact that I have to work in a loud environment.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this much. When you're working at loud you know, like at loud concerts, especially for certain metal bands, you know it's serious when they're playing so loud they're causing the fittings in the bathroom to shake.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Oh yeah. That's the only way to play metal, though. And if the viewer or if the listeners did not bring earplugs, that's on them.
Well, sure, but if you were to ask my brother, he would not speak well of certain metal bands. He's a bit of a serious metalhead, and he does not like certain metal bands, including, especially in what he calls the new metal stuff, because he really hates them. You probably know the bands I'm talking about. I'm not going to name names, but new metal especially is enough to piss him off.
I think I might have an idea of who you're talking about, but I'm not 100% certain.
He just doesn't like new metal, as he calls it. And
yeah, well, new metal is an actual specific genre that focused on blending elements of hip hop and either hard rock or metal. And I know an awful lot about it because I was that angsty teenager who listened to a ton of new metal. A ton of new metal. Exactly 2 new metal bands, but a lot of those 2 new metal bands.
Yeah, well, he's not a fan of that genre, especially certain bands within the genre, and he's...
May I make a guess?
I'm not going to be able to confirm, because frankly, that might get me into some kind of trouble with probably with libel laws again, and also because it is maybe skirting around my NDA at work, so
you need to
even
get
though
moving,
it's a
Strike
literally
One.
public
That
event,
whole place is going up in a matter of minutes, and anyone left behind is as good as dead.
You probably could guess
New
it.
objective received.
Like you said, I won't be able to confirm or deny, but what I will say is he just generally doesn't like them.
That's fair.
I'm not bothered either way. As far as I'm concerned,
Time to motor.
It's all noise to me. As I said, I'm sorry. Metal's not quite my thing.
Metal's very much my thing, but I completely understand people who have an aversion.
I would say this, for the most part, metal fans tend to be fairly chill compared to fans of other events and musical events that I've worked at. We'll see that much.
Yeah, I am, with the exception of one band, which I guess I can... the fans of one band who, in my personal experience, almost killed me. Yeah. I can say that metal fans tend to, in my opinion, be generally pretty cool and pretty supportive of each other. No. Coheed fans did not ever try to kill me. Coheed and Cambria's fans are the best fans. I am not biased in any way, shape, or form. However, it was at a Coheed concert that this event that I'm referring to occurred. Jai. And specifically, I don't mind talking about it because I live in the States and this isn't a thing that happened to me.
Yes, sir.
So I don't think it would fall under libel of anybody, but at the Coheed and Cambrian Between the Buried and Me tour that they had together,
Did you hear something?
during the Between the Buried and Me set, a whole bunch of Between the Buried and Me fans basically tried to crush all the Coheed fans that had early access or early entry tickets against the rail. And the bruise that I got from that was really bad, and I actually had to be pulled out of the crowd.
Ooh, no, that's horrendous. No, that shouldn't be condoned. That cannot be condoned.
Yeah.
As someone who works in dealing with situations like that, no, that would have required, I know that would require some form of escalation which would result in us having to manage the crowd in some way.
Yeah. The problem I feel like security would have had with that is, like, it was the, like, vast majority of the crowd, basically. And I'm sure a lot of them weren't aware of what was basically happening on the other end of things. Because basically, like, aside from everybody in the front third of the audience, aside from, like, the first 2 or 3 rows of people, were just, like, shoving themselves against the rail. Or against the people in front of them who were being shoved against the rail.
I'd like to think at my own work, if we noticed something like that, something would be done. It might not be much, but certainly we would try to manage it as best as we can to prevent other people getting hurt. But yeah, that is a big oof there.
The mark is down there.
The ironic, I'll see this, ironically, I am not a big fan of crowds. In fact, they basically find them a little bit scary. Lead's vocalist looks like Diana Ross. What?
I'm going to attempt to ignore that.
Ready to rock.
What?
And attempt to keep a level head on my shoulders.
Affirmative.
I don't actually know what Diana Ross looks like, so I can't say one way or the other.
That's affirmative.
At once.
Moving to position.
Sorry, we're just dealing with something on here.
It's alright.
What is my... Oof, that's still a long way from complete this diagnostic. Why did this testing hard drives take so long? Oh well.
No, I described Between the Buried and Me as metal.
I think that's
and Coheed is definitely prog rock. But I was specifically referring to metal fans in the context of the incident with Between the Buried and Me's fan base.
affirmative.
Bangs out. I feel like I took my eyes off the game. How are we doing game-wise?
Nobody's died yet.
Okay, that's good. And the shark is still 10-4. Wobbling?
Yeah, the shark continues to spawn chrysalids, right up into I did not see that those sharks were making the wobbles.
I will take care of it.
Is that the fact that that shark that's hanging is wobbling, is that a good or a bad thing, or indeed there's more than one? I'm gonna guess bad.
We're green to go.
Target's still up.
What's this Xale? Is that a good or a bad thing?
Sorry, what?
My gun is empty.
The sharks bulging about, is that good or a bad thing?
It is decidedly a bad thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna load the last autosave.
Okay.
Because I was kind of not, or I was actually kind of counting on. Okay, the autosave before the last autosave. I was kind of counting on the sharks not bubbling. So
Is there a way to make them not bubble?
double time it.
I don't think there's a way to make them not bubble, so I'm just going to book it.
Okay.
10-4. Already there.
Which honestly, I probably should have been doing from the start anyway.
Roger that. On the move.
Got it, moving.
Takes grenades, I think.
Just as you're doing that, I'm also just checking something else on here. I recently managed to get... You recall I've been... Like, you may recall I was having issues with a Raspberry Pi a while back.
Yeah.
Well, I managed to get a working one.
Excellent.
Yep. Had to buy a brand new one, straight from basically the Raspberry Pi maker's official distributors. Semi-official distributors, I guess. And ended up with Pi 4, 2 gig RAM, and I'm using it as a... Like, I've put a Pi-hole installation on it to basically filter out ads and malware.
Nice.
I did have some issues getting set up.
I'm on the move.
YouTube app doesn't seem to work with it too well. But I found a workaround for that.
10-4.
And as a result, before anyone starts shouting at me, yes, I know creators need to make the money, they need to pay the bills, to keep the lights on. The problem I had with a lot of the YouTube ads is that either they were advertising outright malicious or scam type products. At least they came to a point where they started to do that, or they were getting far too repetitive, and they also had a problem of
Strike one.
You know,
that airstrike is closing in your position.
Low volume,
you need to get to the evac point before it's too late.
Speaking and suddenly the ad starts playing and it's really loud music.
Yep.
And scares me, especially at night. So it got to the point where I couldn't cope with that anymore. So that's why I got this set up to try to limit the impact of sudden audio changes in ads. Frankly.
Yeah.
There's also the thing about it's also a useful malware
Orders understood.
defense as well. It's not perfect, but obviously it's useful, and I always need to keep an eye on.
I need additional enemy destroyed.
Wi-Fi network, and I would suggest other people do the same.
Yep. Yeah, I remember when this game first came out, Faldian.
Moving out.
People who played Iron Man, they still they didn't play on actual in-game Iron Man because the RNG and glitching was so bad that you would regularly have to reload autosaves just to have a fair shot. Okay, so you make it to extraction, not with everybody in the way.
Headed there now.
No.
10-4.
Iron Man, that sounds scary.
Kinda. It's the too long didn't read version of it is, you
Got it.
You can't reload saves.
Reloading now.
Yeah.
I'm rolling. Reloaded.
Yeah, I'm just reading on here. Basically, the save file, you can't have multiple saves and they'll automatically, basically, auto-save every time you do something, so you can't roll back as easily.
Yep.
If you wait this, Harris, you would have to make it 10 hours and pain for that. That's basically XCOM's hard mode, and I don't think I'd be able to cope with that.
You're running out of time, Strike One. The airstrike will be there any minute. Get moving.
Level this whole damn town, Central, because we out of here with no casualties.
Going there now. Aye, aye, Commander.
And none of my guys even had to sprint.
And we kept jagged this time. Did we lose him last time?
We lost multiple people and had to restart multiple times.
And boom, boom, boom. That's a heck of a lot of flames.
Ooh.
A UFO has bombed civilian targets in the United States, increasing panic. Oh, for crying out loud.
Remember, we will be watching.
Okay. Well, that was a whole thing.
Contact detected.
I don't have any aircraft to take that out.
We will be watching. Yes, spokesman. Oh dear.
Thermal generator online.
We might have a problem intercepting UFOs.
Yeah, without any firepower, that would indeed be a problem. So we're gonna go ahead and build a workshop.
I've said it once, I'm gonna keep saying it, I still don't like the spokesman, he still scares me.
Yeah. He is a concerning individual.
Council, please like and subscribe, it really helps. Epic voice guy. I was gonna say the council spokesman does sound suspiciously familiar.
It's like, wait. Boundary does count as a workshop for adjacency benefits. Put that there. Put a laboratory. Boundary there. And I think before we call it for the evening, we will keep scanning until we get to the next combat mission.
Satellite uplink complete.
John Bailey, the epic voice guy. Okay, probably. Okay, that might make sense. It might also explain why why the council spokesperson sounds so familiar.
We were so close. So close to just getting advanced lasers.
Oh no.
But we did it. We were successfully able to not die to the horrible thing. We've only got 3 horribly wounded individuals, and everybody else is just regular fatigued. And we have a whole bunch of people that I need to reach out to get level up advice on.
At the very least, we seem to be in a better situation than where you were your last playthrough.
Yes, we most certainly are. Partially because I focused on the air war. I got a full 6 Ravens right off the bat, and I'll probably start filling out the other nation or the other continents soon. Alrighty. I'm a little upset that we're going to be going into that before Advanced Beam Laser's finished, but we have got a whole bunch of facilities on the way. We've got excavations on the way, and we should be all set to come crashing in when we used to pick this back up on Tuesday. Zol, if you have anything left to say, do you know when you're planning to do some more stuff, or is that still up in the air?
I don't tend to have a fixed schedule, partly because all sorts of things seem to happen, and I've really, yeah, basically, I don't really have a fixed schedule at the moment, frankly. I've always worked on winging it, especially given my own work schedule, at least at the time, meant I was on call. Maybe not so much now, right now, but I might have time to do a call, like do another stream of Marathon 2 at some point during the weekend. That will be round about probably fairly early morning for you folks, actually. But we shall see. Like you said, yeah, it's pretty much wing it, and we'll see how I feel and if I've got the time.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, I will be live again, same time frame next Tuesday, which is it's 4 to 7 in the eastern United States. What that is for everyone else, I am probably not attempt to do the math because I failed miserably at it before, but I think that's 9 o'clock Greenwich time. Somewhere in that neighborhood?
Round about there, yeah.
Alrighty.
I think. There's timeanddate.com if you really are not sure. Just feed it, punch numbers in there.
Yeah, and I just noticed that the empty areas just are full of rubble. That's amusing to me. But until next week, next Tuesday, we will see you Starside.
Yeah, see you around.
I have been Xale Mannix. This has been Zaldera. And that is going to be the end of us for the evening. Have a great weekend, guys.
See ya.